welcome to the channel. This is a simulated post-hurricane no power video. So what happens after the wind stops blowing and the bungalow hasn't been blown away and I'm good to go except for no power? Having multiple power options help, which is where the propane generator comes in to charge my battery backups in case it's not safe for me to put my solar panels out. But how do I stay cool in the humid Florida heat? Today it's around 90, feels like 103, and I have lights on because this is a simulation. But let me show you how I'm going to stay cool at night. Good morning. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Heck, I hope it's better. So why do I put this result video at the beginning? Because I know people don't watch till the end, and I don't blame you. It's a longish video. But it's important for me to impart upon everybody that preparation involves testing of equipment during quiet times, not when it's needed. So when the hurricane strikes, you don't want to find out that your gas or propane generator doesn't work, that your batteries won't last very long, that your AC won't work properly, that there's tweaks you need to make. So testing is important, even if it's just testing the batteries you have around to use your flashlights or fans or whatever you have. Test it out. This test was highly successful. The Pecron is still cranking away. 41% left after over 11 hours of use. The use involved is charging the battery to the zerobreeze. Zerobreeze currently charging. Current stats from the zerobreeze: 55 degrees air blowing out of the AC, a nice cool 77-degree room temperature. It was perfect for sleeping. There were no glitches. The water bag's pretty full. The plants are going to be happy when I empty it out on them today. So overall, a very successful test. I'm happy. I know the limits of the equipment. I know kind of how long I can run things, and of course I'd never run them this long, but I know what my equipment can do, and that's important to know. So if you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. I have timestamps so that you can skip through the parts you might want to see. And I'm going to unplug the zerobreeze from the Pecron system and see how long it will run independently on its own battery. I'll have that at the end of the video. And you can skip to that if that's your interest, or even watch the entire video if you want. But for me right now, I gotta get out for a bike ride before the heat of the day moves in here down in Florida. Because part of preparation is being physically prepared too. So enjoy the rest of the video, or get on with your day. And I appreciate you guys watching. Peace. So one thing I have are these nifty little fans that blow hurricane force winds. And they also have lights. But that's not enough. And how do I keep lights? Well, I just happen to have one hooked up to a Pecron right now. And there's some devices for people who try to interlope on my hurricane setup. I have this light bank hooked into my Pecron 1500 LFP. And right now it's drawing 25 watts and I got about 13 hours of battery left if I continue to use that. Of course, I don't keep the lights on all the time, nor will I keep the zerobreeze running all the time. I'll generally run it when I need a morale boost or something like that. So anyways, let's take a look at this setup here. I have the zerobreeze Mark III hooked into the battery. Battery turns on, allowing me to power up the zerobreeze Mark III using the controller. Ding, it turns on. Right now, as you can see, it's on power mode. But I can go through the modes right here on the controller. That's just cooling. And this is nighttime, which I use during sleeping. So right now it's running completely off the battery. And I have this thing venting out my back bedroom window through a piece of cold foam, closed cell foam, 1 3/4 inch thick. And this is what the outside looks like. The screen is protecting me from bug intake. And this vent is pointing slightly this way. This vent is pointing slightly that way so that they don't interfere with each other. So I also have the Mark III plugged in through the power brick into the Pecron battery stack. I'll turn the AC power on. Which allows the power stack to begin to supply charge to the battery of the Mark III as the battery of the Mark III runs the air conditioner. Here's my awesome little water bag setup. I'm super proud of that. This thing works like a charm, and then I use the water to water my foliage out in front of the bungalow. There's the tube running from the Mark III into the bag. Works perfect for either camping or here. Always keep a flashlight handy. You never know when you're going to need one. And here's a pro tip. You see that little blue strip right there on the vent cover? That thing fell off for whatever reason, and a couple of drops of Gorilla Glue secured it nicely in place. So right now the Mark III battery is charging and discharging as indicated by the flashing button. And in the middle of the day, it's noontime here in Florida. We are pushing out 63° Fahrenheit air out of the air conditioning unit. So far so good. I'm going to be back later and I will show you how I run this at night. Alright, so it's about 8:30 at night Eastern Standard Time here in Melbourne, Florida. Again, we're simulating a power outage during a hurricane. So the only lights I currently have working is this one here running off of my E600 LFP battery. So right now everything's off. I'm going to kick on the AC power on the Pecron. And as you can see, it's starting to kick on. It is now on red and it's charging the battery. So, next order of business is to turn the battery on the Mark III. And you heard those beeps. That means that the Mark III is currently on and available to run. One thing I do that I didn't mention before is I take this little shim here to be sure that the Mark III has a little tilt towards the back so that the water drains properly. Another pro tip. So here we go. I am now, battery's on, power's on, it's beginning to blow air. I'm going to leave the remote right here. Currently the room temperature is 81 degrees. The air conditioner is blowing 73 degree air out of it. It's on nighttime mode. I'm going to switch it over to cooling. And already it's blowing 70 degree air out of the AC. And right here you see there's quite a lot of draw coming out of this battery. If I need to, I will plug the battery in to the wall outlet so that it'll last me through the entire night, and that will simulate running the propane generator. Alrighty, I will be back in about an hour to see how cold this room actually gets. Sit tight. Alright, so it's about 9:30 now, and things are kicking along nicely. An interesting thing that's happening is that when this battery gets up to full charge, the Pecron power draw goes down to 0 watts. So essentially this thing will run all night without any issues. And here goes the Pecron dropping down to 0 even as I speak. Looking at the remote control, I'm getting 54 degree cooling coming out of the zerobreeze. quite chilly. And on night mode you can hear the fan dropping down because it's hitting the temperature that's acceptable that I've programmed into it. So right now all is well. Nothing left to do except kick back and grab myself a good night's sleep and relax and wake up tomorrow and deal with another simulated hurricane mess. Alright folks, final chapter in today's episode, or actually the last 2 days. The ZeroBreeze Mark III running off of its own single battery. Good performance. It started at 8:30 this morning or so. It's currently around 12:15. It's showing 1 bar. It's still blowing 56-degree air out of the Mark III. On the controller, we're seeing the same results, 77 degrees, cool in the room with 0.2 hours left to go. So that's awesome. And it looks like I'll probably think about getting another battery for the ZeroBreeze Mark III. But we'll see. As budget allows, being an elderly fixed income guy at this point in my life. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope you're prepared with water, a good food source, plenty of power, options in the power realm, generators, batteries, and maybe even a bug out plan if the hurricane looks severe enough. So anyways, did I mention food? I might have. I'm old, but my mind's slipping. So anyways, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, like and subscribe, and I appreciate you all. Peace.